Hey everybody, welcome back to Chamberlain Family Farms. So we're back at the cellar. Dad, he's on the tractor running electric line. So if you guys watched our last video, where I'm blocking the cellar walls, this is actually the very next day, okay? So the L bolts are set up now. It's been 2 days that they've been setting. So they should be pretty secure now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the board on each end where we actually put the L bolts, and we're gonna kind of put the board on there where we want it and tap it with the hammer, and it's gonna leave little indents. Now these indents is where you're gonna drill. So, and I do it this way, it's quicker and easier. Yeah, you can use a tape measure and mark over from the wall if your wall's straight. All right, let's get started. So we gotta be careful because we haven't buried this yet. I don't wanna do that till after I go through and make sure we filled in all the bee holes, any place we might have missed mud, because we don't want no water seeping in. So we got about a half a foot to a little over a foot in certain spots. So we got to be careful we don't fall down in here. I already did it once, scraped my leg, busted my knee, so. Alrighty. All right, I think we're gonna go about there. We'll have it sticking over maybe about, I don't know, 5 inches on the back side. You can see indentation, that's what you should have. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pre-drill these 2 holes, set it back on there, and then hit that end, because that end there is a little lower. All right, so we got the holes drilled. Now we're gonna go ahead and get a bigger bit. We're gonna go on top, so that way the washer and the nut can tighten up the board to the actual cellar roof. All right, so I'm using a 1-inch bit for this. If we need to go a little bigger, we can go bigger, but so let's put the board on there now. Like a glove. We'll come back later with the socket and we'll tighten these down good.
Hi, I'm so excited because I'm getting some electric ran to my greenhouse. He's been working on this, and he's digging a trench to run some underground wiring, and it's going to hook up to my greenhouse, so I have permanent electric out there. In the springtime when it was still cold, I was having to run extension cords all the way out to it to run a small heater and fan that I had. So now I'll have actually electric out in it. So it's taking some time, but we're getting it.
Well, you know how I have accidents all the time, constantly getting hurt and sometimes might break something. Well, I did not do this, guys. So Dad was running this trench to go put electric, and if you remember, the lintel was sticking out a little on this side and a little on this side. Well, he accidentally hit it with his bucket, and as you can see, it's broke now. So we're gonna have to break the concrete off and take a saw and cut it. We should be able to save this piece and actually put it back up here. And yeah, redo.
But it wasn't you this time.
But it wasn't me this time. So nobody was hurt. That's the main thing. I busted all the concrete where it actually broke. And as you can see, there's two rebar in here, different sizes. Now, you don't have to have the lintel where it goes way on out. It just needs to go pretty much about from here to here. You just want it just got to go over the door of the window, okay? Now, before we actually cut this, we're going to go ahead, we're going to try to get some support because the cut's right here in the middle and it's going to fall. We don't want to bust this up any more than what we have to. So I got a board Then I got a block. Got it shoved in right here. All right, let's get it going. Now for this, we're just going to use a grinder. You guys, if you got a Sawzall with a metal blade, you guys can use that as well. Hopefully this doesn't happen to you though, so. All right, so there's one. You know what, let's go ahead and try to put the small lintel up there, because I like the idea of nothing actually sticking out to the side, because I don't want this ever happen again. Whether it be a lawnmower or tractor or just the kids trying to hang on it or something, I don't want to take no chances. So that, and I can manhandle the smaller one. Actually, that works out pretty good. It does go clear across, and there still is a little bit sticking out to the side, so that'll work. Heck yeah. And this is just moss where it's growing on. It's been laying down for a few years outside. So, all right, guys. So we got it jacked up. You can see the jack down here. Got a board going up right in the middle. It's hitting over here, and then I got a small chip right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put mortar in this joint, and then we'll set it down real easy. And then up here where that concrete kind of busted a little bit too much, after we set this down, we'll go ahead and we'll just mud this in really good. And then of course we got to mud in behind connecting the block. So we're going to lay brick in between these 4x4 posts. This is a tuck pointer. What you do is you scoop it up, and then you can scoop that mortar right in the cracks. And we're doing it this way because this lintel's so heavy. Yeah, I was able to pick it up by myself, but trying to lay mud and pick it up, about impossible. So just trying to move on me, guys. Looks pretty good to me. You see how it's narrow up here and gets bigger on down? You can get you a piece of rock or something. You can cheat it a little bit like that. You just leave this in until it sets up, or you just leave it there permanent. It ain't gonna hurt nothing there. All right, so this is a fairly big gap. We're mostly going to fill it in with mortar, but to keep it from falling down in there, I'll probably put a little mortar down here, put this on the bottom, and then we can start filling in with mud. Now we may come later and finish cutting this off, because we don't want nobody getting hurt. There's a little bee hole right here. Anytime you go around it and you got mortar or concrete, check and make sure, because like I said, you do not want this thing filling up full of water, guys, after you guys get it buried. All right, now we'll get the other side. Philip and Corbin, they wanted to help me. Oh, careful, buddy.
Okay.
Just set it down right there.
Okay.
Or set by that brick.
Oh, okay. You go up there.
Yep. So they're helping me get the brick unloaded. We went and got some brick. I used to be in masonry for over 16 years, laying brick and block and stuff like that. So I gave Mom and Dad a bunch of leftover brick we had on some of the job sites, so it's coming in handy now. All right, so what we're gonna do now, while the kids are unloading the brick, we're gonna go ahead and get these 4x4s up here and kind of figure out how far we want them close to this, you know. That way it's even, and then we'll try to space them out as evenly as we can. And then I'll go ahead and I'll lay a brick on each side, and that'll keep it from moving. So if you guys remember, the only ones we're actually bolting down is the 2 outside 4x4s. So what we're gonna do after we get this is we're just gonna get some boards. We're gonna lay across there and we're gonna nail them or screw them all together. Now be careful when you're doing this, especially if your mortar's still wet. You don't wanna tear nothing up. So you actually want the brick just a little bit smaller than the top of the board. So we'll put 2 actually side by side on in between every one, and that should be pretty close.
This boy here, he works hard for his mom. He's doing that for his cellar. Plus, he knows that I want to keep this farm going for many generations more, so he knows that his kids and so on and so forth will be able to take advantage of this too. So, hard working.
Now that we got the brick laid in between, it's still setting up. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start tightening up these nuts. Then we'll either put some mortar in any of the gaps or we'll put caulking. Now with boards, you got to remember they will expand and contract, so probably better off putting some caulking unless it's just a huge gap. If you guys wonder what that loud noise is, Brent's in the wood shop building something. All right, so we went around, we tuck point all the way around on the outside. Got the rest of the brick, got them tuck pointed. So everything's pretty much buttoned up now. Now we'll just give it a day or two to set up, and then we start putting the boards on top. All right, so we got some boards. Mom and Dad got a few decking boards. We're gonna go ahead and put them on. Now, it ain't gonna be enough to do the whole thing, but they got some old decking boards that we're gonna use on the front half. So we are gonna stick over just a little bit all the way around. You don't need to be way out, because like I said, it's all gonna be covered with dirt, so. Now on the first board, I did put 2 screws in each one, just because it's near the ledge, right? But the rest of these in the center, I'm just putting 1, but I'm staggering it. Because if you keep it in a straight line, what could happen is that board could crack right along there. So you always want to stagger your screws when you can. So we got the boards on, and I know it kind of looks sketchy and kind of redneckish the way I got it cut and everything, new and old boards and stuff, but guys, this is plenty solid enough. Even down here on the end. So next step is we're going to get some metal. We're going to put it over it. Of course, we'll have to cut it and all that. And then we'll put the rubber roof on. then we'll put plastic or tarp over it. Now that stuff is going to go on down. As you can see, we never did fill this in. That's for a reason. We're going to put that plastic and stuff all the way down, and then we'll put the dirt against it, and it'll kind of put a coating on there that'll last at least 10, 20 years, however long plastic lasts. So this is the front, of course. So we got this 2x8, and what it's going to do, it's going to help kind of catch the water and stuff if it does kind of seep down. Try to keep it from going out this way and keep the dirt from falling. So we get this, get some grass built up. It'll start narrow here, but eventually it'll go up to at least 3 feet or higher on around. So, which you can go in there right now, and it's already cooled off a lot inside already. We don't even have it covered over yet, and it's still got a few little cracks. But you touch the block on the back wall, it's like 60 degrees.
Okay, now we're adding the rubber roofing on top. This is what they actually put on like commercial buildings and things like that to keep it from leaking in the top. It's very thick, like big rubber inner tubes and things like that. So we're getting it on, bringing it down to the sides, straightening it out, and hopefully that's going to keep this going for a long time.
I hope so. I don't want to have to get in this after we're done unless I'm snaking a watermelon or tomato or something.
Okay, now it's time for backfilling. Now down here, there's a bigger hole than what you can actually see. The whole scoop went down the side.
Rub on the hand, he's the one to build it. All right, guys, that's the end of this episode. So the next Cellar video will be on putting the doors, finishing the wing walls where they go on out, probably working on the steps, and also putting dirt up on top, finishing it out, because we can't put the dirt till after we get the wing walls up for support. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys hit that bell button so you guys don't miss an episode. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Chamberlain Family Farms. You can contact us at chamberlainff@gmail.com. You can also see us on Facebook, Chamberlain Family Farms. We hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe.